I just had the most amazing gym session and I smell like it. However, before I get in the shower, I need to have a conversation with you guys. I need to work for a black owned establishment. I need to work for a black owned business. Now, let's be clear. Just like white establishments, there are pros and cons to working for black owned establishments. But something about the pros and cons are the cons per se are way more digestible coming from a black owned establishment as a black man than they are coming from the white corporate field as a black man. Some of the cons being I don't like how money outweighs vision. I remember I worked at an establishment and I helped this establishment open. And we discussed how this was going to be a space for black people, a space for community, the neighborhood space. It would be like the black cheers for all you old school people. It would be like the black cheers. It was just going to be this moment to educate about culture, live freely and honestly and unapologetically in our culture. And there was this beautiful, beautiful vision. And then all of a sudden, hookahs showed up. And now we're discussing paying for parking and paying to get in and gratuity on everything. And I have my views on the gratuity thing, but it went from vision to what makes the most money. And I hate that we're so focused on the money and we're so money hungry that then we all become the same thing. I'm speaking from the food and beverage industry mindset because I've been in the food and beverage industry for over 12 years now. But so many restaurants in Atlanta are the exact same, and I think they are the exact same because it's a money grab and not really about creating opportunities and moments for black people. I don't like how the black owned establishment is image focused. Now, if you own a lounge, a club where you got girls in the leotards and the fishnets and all that, you don't want no bad built girl in no leotard and fishnet. So I get that. But I've worked in an establishment where the uniform was just t-shirt and jeans. And I remember a young man came in and applied for a server position, and we were hiring for server positions. And when he walked out, the owner said, "Put him in the kitchen." And I don't really understand that because it's like he didn't apply to be in the kitchen, so why would you offer him a kitchen position and we're hiring for front of house? The best bartender that I've ever had, this is the same lady who actually taught me how to bartend. That lady had some big old titties, a gold tooth in the front, and a hearing aid. But she made the most money. She made the best drinks. She had the highest clientele, and she came to work faithfully. Y'all be hiring a bunch of bad bitches with horrible work ethic, and that's the problem. We gotta stop that. Like, we gotta stop being so image driven. I remember even being told that the reason why they're not hiring me is because I'm not a body boy and I'm not your idea of sexy. It wasn't because of my work ethic, it was because of my image. That has been my experience with several black owned and operated establishments. That's one of the cons. Also, black folks just do stuff in the cheapest way. Instead of you getting a contract or whatever, I don't know the full, I'm not an owner, so I don't know the full process, and I'm sure that it does cost money. But instead of you getting a contract with the delivering company, I have seen people leave a restaurant and go to the liquor store and buy liquor instead of getting a liquor vendor. I have seen establishments run out of food, and not even run out of food. You weren't even running out of food. You were consistently grocery shopping at regular grocery stores to buy your food. Like, you were literally buying frozen chicken from Walmart and selling that on your menu instead of going through the Cisco's or the, whatever other whatever other services that are provided when it comes to actually shipping and having contracts with them people. Like, what? And I will say the difference in like white people and black people. With white establishments, for instance, the place I currently work at right now, we ran out of fries one day. We ran out of fries, not because we weren't prepared. Well, I guess they weren't prepared. But we just had this like rush, this really big crowd of people come. There was nothing going on in the city. Like, it was nothing important going on. People just, this weekend, just people showed up. And so we weren't prepared for that. And we ran out of fries. We were only out of fries for 2 hours, because we had to send somebody to actually go get some and then go get enough, and also make sure it was the same fries that we've been selling so that we keep the consistency of a thing. Black folks will be out of something and be out of something for days. For days. Sometimes the menu don't be thought out at all, and y'all just like, you don't need to have oysters and stuff that you can't really, that's out of season, or that you can't upkeep, or that you can't keep. You don't need to have watermelon on your menu when you know watermelon goes out of season. Like, it just, certain things got to be thought about before you just throw it on a menu and you can't keep it, huh? But the pros, to wake up every morning and be able to proudly say that I am a black man working for a black establishment. Like, I take pride in that. I remember working for a black establishment, and I used to love being in my Uber. Like, I'm going to work, and I work for a black-owned business, and this is what it is. And I'm in the backseat educating, like, on, you know, what the business means and the culture, and, like, I love stuff like that. Also, if a black person calls me aggressive, it's because I'm actually aggressive. At this current moment, there's a write-up on file for me where I am accused of being aggressive. Keep in mind, I'm the only black person in my department. I'm also the tallest person in the building. And I've also sent an email asking to not be called or accused of being aggressive. And while I was being wrote up, said person who was writing me up was still using the word aggressive in my presence. And for white people, I realize aggressive can be a whisper, but you holding them accountable is aggressive. You challenging them to step up and step in position and do their job properly is aggressive. The fact that people like you and they don't understand why they like you, that's aggressive. The fact that your staff respects you and hears you, and they felt seen and they felt heard, and they like you more than they like the white person, that's aggressive. But see, if a black person called me aggressive, it's because I actually got in your face and used my fingers and used my big words. So there's a difference. Like there's validity behind black people and their words, unlike the whites in the corporate. In a black establishment, I can have clientele. There are people that will come to your restaurant, come to your bar, come to your establishment, and they will say, is Tre'Varis here? Can I sit in Tre'Varis' section? Can I sit at the bar with Tre'Varis? When does Tre'Varis work? And it's just that. It's just that. It's just you having clientele. It's just you having regulars. But when it comes to a white establishment, if the employees who are under you favor me too much, oh, we need to look into this. If a guest comes and says, where's Tre'Varis? Can I sit in Tre'Varis' section? Can I sit at the bar with Tre'Varis? Can Tre'Varis make this drink for me? If you are a black person working in a white establishment and somebody is favoring you, then there's a target on your back. Something is wrong. Like, they're not acknowledging that you have good customer service. They're not acknowledging that you have great work ethic. They're not acknowledging that you are really creating an experience for people to come back and spend money. They see it as a threat. And now you are a target. And we're going to do whatever we can. Instead of appreciating the money that's being brought in here, we're going to do whatever we can to fire you and make your work situation a living hell. I don't understand it. I guess the one thing that I can say that I don't like about the black people, if y'all don't like something, telling me that you're going to call the owners, or even when you walk in and say the owners are my cousin, the owners are my friends, I know the owners are the owners here. I never experienced that at a white place. White people ain't asking about the owner. They're not saying that they know them, they went to school with them. I invested my cousin, that's my auntie, that's my brother, that's my brother-in-law. But white people don't do that. They come and eat. If they don't like the experience, they ask for the manager on duty, not the owner. Like, why do we do that? Like, why do we do that? At the end of the day, for black people, I do want us to stick to vision. Hold on to the vision and not so much the money. And I want us to lean into the experience and culture and community and customer service and proper leadership, and less about image. And on both sides, white or black, on both sides, white or black, just listen to your servers, listen to your bartenders, include them in, because these are the people who are required to sell these things. These are the people who actually put the money in your pocket as well as their pocket. You know what I'm saying? And so I do think that on both sides, white or black, there needs to be more space of listening to your staff and what works and what doesn't work. But I will say from the bottom of my heart, not only do I enjoy working for black establishments and black leadership and black ownership, I need it. Especially in this economy, we need more black-owned things that are going to run right and going to be done right. Everything don't need hookah. Every establishment doesn't need gratuity on it. We need some good leadership. And we just need vision and purpose and creativity. Black folks, stop making these establishments where you got to pay $45 before you even walk in the door. I got to pay for parking, pay for entry, and pay for the entertainment fee. I didn't even sit down at 8 yet. Stop that. And even in that, I still want to work for a black establishment. I just love black people, and I want to be a part of it. If being a part of it means being able to be seen, being able to be heard, being able to be understood and supported, we need more of it. So who hiring?